Hey guys, Jonah here, back for another beer review. Didn't do a beer review yesterday because I was doing some beer judging training over at Windsor and Eton. So big shout to you guys. Which is why I've got my Windsor and Eton t-shirt on. Yes, I was wearing this yesterday as well. Stinky, stinky Jonah. Yes, that's me. But yeah, learned a lot about brewing and judging um, and beer styles. That's probably the thing that I've learned the best is whether you're following camera beer judging like I did yesterday or BJCP judging styles, which is a lot more complicated because there's a huge amount more categories. Trying to judge on category is kind of the tough bit. So I've got to be a bit more tough in my judging. Um, but what I do on my channel is probably describing the beer, the sensory nature of the beer, which I like to think I've got a reasonable good kind of grip on these days after doing this for over 10 years now. However, beer judging to style is what beer judging in competitions anyway. That's what it's all about. It's absolutely crazy. Not sure if I should really be showing you this, but that's what I'm doing. And essentially, we're looking at appearance, aroma, taste, aftertaste, gives you a total. Then does it fit against a style or not? Which is really interesting. That's all I'm going to show you from yesterday because I'm not sure if I should be showing you it at all. But it's reasonably simple, and you end up with a score out of 50, which is interesting too. Anyway, don't worry about that. The beer we're doing today is from Beer 52 Beer on Trend box. And another box is on its way, and I haven't even drunk any of this month's box yet. So I'm playing catch up still, but we are getting there, dear viewer. If you want to join the Jonah Army, please click subscribe down below, like this video, leave me a comment. Thank you very much. Anyway, after all that, the beer we are doing is this one. Apparently, it's the Beer 52 beer of the box, St Ives Pud, and it says it's a sticky. Oh, I don't know. That's out of focus. Sticky toffee pudding. That's supposed to say flavored stout. This is officially a St Ives Brewery one. Unofficially, as I've said to you before, if you've watched my other videos, St Ives do brewing for lots of other breweries, especially ones that are featured in the Beer 52 boxes and magazine. So they help out, shall we say. I suspect there might be a connection between St Ives Brewery and Beer 52. It's definitely a contract between them. But yeah, this beer comes in at, is that where it says the ABV? I'm not sure. If it'll focus on the bloody can instead of my hat. Dun, dun, dun. There it is, 6.5. There we go. So it's quite a strong brew, which is cool. And it contains barley wheat oats, dates and spices. So it's a spicy winter bad boy. And this on the back of the can says sticky toffee pudding stout, an amalgamation, easy for me to say, of roasted stouty goodness with a layering of crystal malts to provide toffee goodness. A nice high finishing gravity provides nice mouthful density and sweetness, backed up by a healthy dose of dates to give that sticky toffee pudding goodness. A reserved edition of mixed spice really finishes this beer off as a complex delight to the senses. Works either paired with glorious pud or as a dessert in its own right. Absolutely ridiculous and difficult to read. But what I was going to say was, and hopefully we can, oh, can focus on the can. There are a lot of roasted malts in here. Caramel, black malt, Crystal 240. That's just ridiculously high. And the hops are Chinook and Mandarina Bavaria, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I've had this one. Well, I cooled it down in the fridge over the weekend just to try and remove some of the carbon dioxide so it doesn't explode everywhere. But I have taken it out about an hour ago, so I've let it raise slowly to room temperature, but not super warm. And it's even got a black top. So let's do a quick pressure test on this bad boy. Yeah, so all my reviewing kind of knowledge and stuff, and my being on the Kent tasting panel for CAMRA, and also now becoming a committee member, because I don't know if I told you this before, I'm a committee member for CAMRA for the Thanet branch. So all these things are kind of raising me up. And what am my aim to do in 2024 is to try and actually do some beer judging for competition beers. And we did do 3 rounds, 4 in each round. Wow, nice head there. Not too bad. 2 fingers, and it's off, just off white. Actually, no, it's a bit darker than that, isn't it? It's a sort of nice dark kind of, well, compared to the beer, it's kind of a white colour. But yeah, nice creamy head. Let's do one of these. Sticky toffee pud, glass in the thing, head that way. Cheeky grin with the old MotoGP hat on, because it was the last day of the season today, so I have been watching bikes today as well. Congratulations to Pecco. Commiserations to Jorge. If you didn't know that, sorry. Spoiler away. You should have been watching. But that's the last bike racing. Actually, there's some testing coming up next week, but the last racing, I should say, of the year. And it's really late this year. It's the end of November. Wow, lots of sweetness, lots of spice. Bit of maltiness too, but not in a kind of, not in a coffee way or a kind of chocolatey way, just a sort of sweet goodness way. Like I say, looks really good. 6.5%. Loving it. So yeah, while I was doing my judging yesterday, I drank 12 beers, and then you know what? Once you've had 12 beers and you've finished for the day, what do? You drink some more beer. And I ended it with a nice, lovely, unctuous pint of the plum porter by Titanic. Really, really nice. Apparently, there's another version, and I can't actually. I haven't got a picture because I was pretty drunk by then. But I haven't got a picture of the of the pump clip because there's another version. I only noticed that when I uploaded it to Untapped. So if you want a link up with me on Tapped, my link is down there, or my address. Copy and paste it, and you will find me. Always nice to see more people on Untapped. Right, chin chin. Too much talking, not enough drinking. Oh, nice sweetness. Then it was roasty. Then it went to a nice bitterness. So a sort of an astringent bitterness that you do get with the darker beers. Floating across the top is that kind of. Actually, it's what are the? Sorry, I'm looking over here. What are the things? fruits, dried fruits. Did they say it was dates or something? I'm just trying to read over here. Healthy dosing of dates. Yeah, so that's where that kind of sweet bitter thing is coming from. And the spices, they're kind of there. This is something I need to kind of change a little bit to the way I do my beer styling. This is the only thing, is to put a better emphasis on the aftertaste of the beer. Everything else I seem to be doing right, but the aftertaste, for at least for the camera judging, is a score. It forms part of your score. And basically, it's not, is there an aftertaste, is there no aftertaste? It's how do you think the aftertaste is, and how, essentially, how it relates to the beer style. This is going to be a strong stout, I would say. Or it could be a specialist beer, because of all the other weird stuff that's in there. Lovely. I'm not going to score it, by the way. Well, not like a beer judging score. Oh. The weird thing about this beer, as my seat kind of jumps, is, yeah, it's got a lot of residual sweetness. And I've had this can for a few months, definitely. Let's see when the drink by date, April next year. So it was well within date, but the sweetness there, especially because some of it is coming from uh, dates. So, you can get fermented dates. Believe it or not, in Muslim countries, although they don't say that they drink alcohol, they eat fermented dates, which basically is a natural fermentation of alcohol. So you'll find people in Muslim countries lying under trees because they've eaten loads of dates, got absolutely hammered, but they're in their eyes, no, I haven't drunk alcohol. Technically, you have, because the alcohol is in within the date, but the residual sweetness is nice. It hasn't turned to alcohol. That's what I'm saying. So that's a very clever use of yeah, of a fruit in there. And dates are kind of dried, sort of anyway. Sometimes you get the real chewy ones, don't you? Oh, I'm not usually one for kind of sweet stout. Well, no, I am actually. I do like a good sweet stout. It doesn't say on the ingredients, but I would be very surprised if there wasn't some lactose in there as well. Milk sugar. Because puddings and milk go together quite well, don't they? Whether you're putting cream upon your Christmas pudding, or um, maybe putting something into a sauce or a custard or something like that. Oh, that unctuousness is really good. So putting a pinch or a little bit of lactose into a beer just to make it a bit more sweet. Really good idea, especially if it's a stout. And this, I don't know, let's go to the label again. It says pud, and there's definitely some sort of something dribbling down that word pud. Really, really nice. And 6.5% is not to be sniffed at, dear friends. I know, I know. There are, especially with things like IPAs, imperial stouts, Russian stouts, that kind of stuff. They take it a bit too far, and we're talking over 10%, sometimes over sort of 11 or 12%, for some of the real heavy hitting imperials. This is not one of those. This is a lot milder, but 6.5 is still pretty good. I know. It's only a 330 can, so it is quite a small can. However, yeah, well, I don't know if I would drink too many of these. I think I would probably have a pint, maybe maximum of this. So two of those cans, and I would be a very, very happy man. Let's finish this one off, and you guys can get on your way. Nice lacing, not the best I've seen, not the absolute worst I've seen, but a good amount of lacing, which is always good. Dear viewer, thank you so much for coming and visiting me. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I've entertained you a little bit. I know it's Sunday and obviously the working week does begin tomorrow. But if you can, try and squeeze some beer in, because not only does beer make sense, but it does make you a lot smarter. And we'll see you real soon for more beer reviews next week.